Hi guys, welcome back. I got shit on my face. Today we were at the haunt, or I was at the haunt. Got some more knocked out on the deck. Got all the ribs in. Got that's basically all I did. I got all the ribs in. Got the rest of it nailed down. Then I had to go. I did spend some time at Amherst trying to line up some wood. Um, anyway, I'm at HHP now. I'm gonna start to vlog more from here, from the shop, showing you the projects we're working on now that it's more interesting to see it as we're going toward Transworld. One of the projects we're working on right now is a giant jack-o'-lantern. It's going to be a giant jack-o'-lantern like walk-through entrance, as well as a giant jack-o'-lantern that you could just have a pumpkin, you could have a jack-o'-lantern, whatever. This has been the process of this giant pumpkin. So we wanted to carve it, sculpt it first in foam, which is what you have here. This is a styrofoam sculpture made of beaded foam. This way we have this essentially as a sculpting armature. The form's already pretty much there, and what I'm going to do today is I'm going to cover it in a small layer of clay. We've made large things in the past, like the giant spider, the giant clown head, stuff like that, a few bodies. And it uses a lot of clay, especially it's a lot of clay that's just for bulking out. And we've used other things in the past, like buckets and boards and different shit. And I think foam's going to be our best bet because we can carve the rough form of what I'm trying to sculpt or what it is, and then cover it in clay for that kind of outside details. And then it'll be extremely light because this is extremely light, and this will eat up most of like the dead space that would take clay, and then we could take this out, reuse this for other smaller projects, essentially till it's all the way gone. So we started out, and this thing was like 4 feet wide, so you can see these pieces are 24 inches. It was 4 feet by 8 feet was how long it was, and it just looked too long for how wide it was. It needed to be slightly wider, so we were able to add this extra little bit on the sides, and then we put a little bit more on the top. And then for like a month now, we've been carving this because we're still working on orders and stuff. You can see over there, these are all lining up for Transworld, getting the products ready for Transworld, getting all our masks made up and poured, getting all those done. Someone's here right now driving in, I can hear him. But we're getting ready to mold this. So we've got the sculpture as far done as the foam needs to go. And I've been thinking about how I'm going to mold this because we're molding this in fiberglass. So these large molds, we don't have like a forklift here. Our forklift is at the haunted house. So we mold it in fiberglass so that you have a huge mold, but it's extremely light. So you can move it easy, stuff like that. What you lose is you can't do like a dwelling process. If you do any latex, it has to all be like brushed in, but that's not really a huge problem. So I'm thinking this is the other half. There's part of it here, part of it here. It was up here connected to that. It's essentially the bottom half of the giant sculpture. And I'm thinking we're not going to mold that part. I'm thinking we're going to mold just this part, and then for normal, we'll basically mold this twice, and then we'll get a jack-o'-lantern out of that, half a jack-o'-lantern out of that. If we need a whole one, we'll mold it. We'll cast it 4 times. But in general, I mean, it's got some variation in shape, but it should match up pretty well. Especially, it'll be made of latex and foam, so we can kind of manipulate it, glue it, so it's all like perfectly lines up. So like the ridges and everything line up right. So right now, someone's here. I don't know who, but I wanted to show you this because it's very satisfying. I've got the shop vac. I'm cleaning up a bunch of these extra beads and stuff around, so that when we put the clay on, it's not going to get caught up in all this extra shit. We can get a nice skin. So I'm cleaning it up, so we have a good workspace to put the clay on, and then hopefully tomorrow we're going to do the fiberglass, and then we'll be able to pour 1 or 2 and get a giant jack-o'-lantern. So let's do it. Ready? Here comes the good one. Oh yeah. All right, Jay, you've got it all cleaned up with the vacuum. Now we're putting on a layer of clay. John's over here putting another coat of latex into the clown head. That should be the last coat, and then we can do foam. One more? Yeah. It's like 5 coats. We usually do 3.
As far as I know, this is 2.
Well, I did the first one, and Chris has done at least 2.
Okay, never mind.
So this should be like the 4th.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, extra coats won't hurt. But anyway, we're going to put clay all over this. I'll show you in a minute. All right, guys, I'm about to head out of here. These guys are going to throw wet towels and plastic wrap over all this to keep it wet for the night, especially because we've got that heater over there and it kind of blows right this way. So we got to keep it fucking wet and cover it for sure. But we got clay on all this and it's already, when we started sculpting this, it kind of looked like a tiki, but what I said was it's not so important that it be anatomically a pumpkin. What's important is that when you look at it, your eye says that's a pumpkin. And right now I feel that's what's happening. Granted, it's not smooth, it's not all that stuff yet, but you can tell what it's supposed to be. So that is a good thing. It looks like one of those giant pumpkins at like the fair where they do like the fucking weigh-ins and shit, but it's looking good. I like it. But that's going to be it for HHP tonight. These guys are going to cover it up so it stays safe. Tomorrow we'll have to smooth it all out, get some small texturing on it, and then from there we're going to cover it in fiberglass and start working on some more stuff. John got some of these masks over here based so we can start to keep working on those so we can get through the Transworld list, which is huge. But anyway, that's going to be it for the day. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm Justin, tuning out. You stay scary.